Hello everybody, I hope you guys are doing well, having a great day or a great night. So I hope this is going to be a quick video just to debunk some nonsense about XRP, and let's get started. So the first one is using XRP against the BTC chart and trying to figure out targets for XRP. First of all, this chart, it is only a representation for the conversion rate between XRP and Bitcoin. This is it. Nothing else. There is no secret here. Nothing. Other thing. Okay, so we can take a look here. And then let's make a case here. So let's start from zero. Just give me a second. And here we have a young pivot. Okay, so let's use the dashed line. Okay, so we do know there is a bottom reversal structure here. We know it is looking good, and we don't even need to come back to this chart to understand this. We can just look on XRP USD. So in the short term, there is doubt because we don't have a clear structure. But again, we do know it's the early stages of a bull break, right? So based on all this, let's draw a target here. So the target can be close or at previous highs that we had in the past. But this is not that simple. And why? By the time XRP will be going up, so will Bitcoin. Okay? So we have numbers that will change. And what is going to happen with analysis made today? They are going to change as well. So it will require multiple adjustments to figure out where, what, the position that, for example, Bitcoin will be in XRP to have a better understanding. And once again, this is a big waste of time because we can just go and take a look on Bitcoin and XRP, USD. So you don't have to make any conversion or, try to match things. No, nothing at all. It's that simple. Okay. So another thing, back in the day, I don't remember if I already said this, but please forgive me. I'm in a hurry here. We didn't have fiat pairs. And the only way to acquire altcoins like XRP was to buy Bitcoin using fiat currencies. And then you bought Bitcoin and then you would exchange for altcoins. So that's why we had these pairs back in the day. But today, with fiat currencies, you just go and buy whatever you want. So this is completely useless today. Okay. So the other thing is XRP USD. Just a second. Okay, XRP USD, the what people are believing to be a head and shoulders. So like explained in a previous video, XRP can go down. Can. But the reason it is not going to be because there is a head and shoulders, because we don't. So let's do this right now. First thing of all, what is a head and shoulders? It's when you look at a person and you see a flat shoulder, right? From left to right to right to left, it's flat, right? That's the reason it's called head and shoulders. It's flat. So it can be like this. Because there's a lot of people who do this. And why it can be like this? Because people doesn't have crooked shoulders, right? So the standard is the standard for people. The standard for people is flat shoulders with a neck and a head, right? So we can have, of course, there are people who have some health issues, but it is a exotic case. And we can make, so for example, the studies about technical analysis and so on and on and on, they are not based in exotic patterns or patterns that will occur like in 0.05% of the times or 0.01% of the times. Why? Because it is not relevant. You see? So we are in 2025, soon 2026, and this is something that people still talks about and try to do, and it is not there. It doesn't work. Head and shoulders, flat shoulders, right? So the mistake starts with the most simple thing. Flat shoulders, right? Common, normal person. Then we had what people is calling a left shoulder. This is what should be the head. Why? Because we have a pivot here and another pivot here. It's from pivot to pivot. You can leave a pivot behind and look for another and, oh, I forgot this one. No, no. From pivot to pivot. The pivot for the head and the pivot for the shoulder. It's crystal clear. This is not rocket science. It's very straightforward. So again, left shoulder, head. And here we had the right shoulder. But now it's turned to a X-Men. We have a mutant here that have multiple shoulders. Like there is only one arm in the left and 2-3 arms in the left with 2-3 shoulders. So we have something new. We can call it X-Men structure. Incredible. Dr. Xavier is very, very proud. So what else? This move right here, which was based on the reserve news, the event, right? There is a higher high against the previous shoulder, which invalidates the idea of a head and shoulders. So one person, it is not going to have two shoulders on the right, and one of the shoulders, it is going to be bigger than the first one. So you see, so it is nuts. It is a Xylon ticket granted for sure, 100%. So, again, left, head, right, X-Men pattern, then X-Men pattern again. Folks, this is nuts. Okay? What we talking about is that we can have something bearish developing in the short term that maybe can happen. So we can work with maybe. Or it's clear or it is not. If it is not clear, it is not there. That's why we have to wait. It's very easy to see patterns when they are clear. And even when they are clear, we understand that the bull, bear, bear, bull. That's something that is bullish can break bearish. Something that is bearish can break bullish, right? No news. So we're talking about possible scenarios for going down. So something like this, it could be even like this. So if we don't acknowledge this move right here, that could be a price protection thing, could be, then we would have a descending triangle. And the target for a descending triangle, it is not the same as for a head and shoulders. So we have multiple different things here. Another one that could be considered is this one. From pivot to pivot, that still makes lower highs, flat base, possible descending triangle. Okay? I am not trusting anything here. Anything. And what's the reason? Because there is nothing clear. Okay? So, dates for the trial to end. You guys understand why I'm looking to this. So April 25, there is a deadline for one of the parties to make their move, to following the process to end the case. And then it could also be another 30 for the whole thing to end. Okay? So we do know it is going to end before May. May 25, to be honest. Okay, most likely here. So now the question that I have in my mind, okay, my question with me is, we will keep developing in this range, or we are really going down to then come back straight up, because those two scenarios can still happen. Why? Because we are at a crossroads. There is nothing clear at this moment. The only thing that could be clear was the Head and Shoulders, but right now there is no Head and Shoulders. So this is the fact. So I'm not talking about my opinions, okay? Only technical facts. So all this being said, we are in a stall. We have to wait. That there is nothing else we can do right now. But let's go take a look into the other nonsense that people are talking about right here. So as you guys know, there are people saying that XRP targets $8, right? And they are also saying that XRP right now is at wave 5. You may not be familiar with this, so let me explain to you. According to Elliot wave theory, it is not a fact, it is a theory. What means a theory for Elliot? It means that it can't be applied to all pivots, all structures, and all behaviors, right? So, according to Elliot, wave 5 is the very end. It's where it ends. It's over, game over, bye, gone. That's it. So how their targets can be above wave 5? It doesn't make any sense, right? Now I'm going to show you, and you are going to understand what they are claiming to be happening with XRP, and you are going to understand that it is the ultimate nonsense ever in XRP history, with buffoons making weirdo claims. Let's start here before we move into where we are today. Here, we didn't have a clear structure, right? Nobody back in the day was talking about this as a bullish triangle whatsoever, and etc. Okay, what is the other thing? Elliott waves can't or couldn't be applied here back in the day. If you try to make a case hard, okay, yeah, maybe, but not according to the theory. Okay, so we are not going to use Elliot here. We are going to use it here because it's clear, it's crystal clear, so we can work with it. So what is point 0 for Elliott waves theory? It's when it starts. After a long period of time, there is a period of consolidation before continuation. Just like we had here. There is a long period of time for continuation before consolidation before continuation. It is just the same thing. Okay, so we had point 0. Okay, point 0 after what should be a 6 pivots perfect setup. So let's start. Wave 0. It stops where? Stops right here, which was a slightly new high move. Okay. So 0 to 1 and then to 2 because it's from pivot to pivot, one after the other. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 5. And then it's game over, as we can see here. So what they are claiming is that right now, so XRP right now is here. It's in exactly same spot. By the way, I'm not saying just because it happened in the past, it has to happen again in the same way. This is not true. okay? But just for the understanding and learning how it works. XRP right now, it's here, as you guys can see, okay? It's still inside. XRP here back in the day was inside. And basically, what they are saying is that this is wave 5. And so let's put a line here. So they are saying this is wave 5. And guess where their targets are? Right here. For $5. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. And that's why I've been talking about this for many years. Those people have no damn idea how real Elliott waves work, and they don't know how to acquire targets. They are using a broken Fibonacci setup that is completely nonsense. Once again, logarithmic chart demands, it needed a logarithmic scale. A Fibonacci setup in a linear chart demands a linear scale. It's square into a square, a circle into a circle. If you mix one of them, you are going to find different numbers because the tool is not properly placed. So it's very straightforward, it's very simple. So now I'm going to show you right here the nonsense, the craziness, the madness. Let's use right here, trading view tool for Elliott waves. Okay, so the tool doesn't work alone. You still gotta know how to use it. Okay, so once again, let's do this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we are going to move to where we are today, and you guys are going to be shocked. There is a misalignment here because I'm losing, as you guys can see, I'm using a logarithmic chart. So it is not going to work properly as it showed, okay? So just don't feel crazy about the numbers you are seeing here, okay? We are going to do this again in the proper way, but just for you guys to understand, let's put it here, okay? So right now, we are at wave 2. Why 2? Because we have 2 pivots here that make the wave count. 0, 1, and 2. So how on this earth this could be a 5? It doesn't. It can't. So I don't know, folks. This is insanity. Okay. Also, another thing. The early stages of a bull break in a setup that we can see, that we can measure, what Elliott waves theory tell us that wave number 3, it's bigger than wave number 1 and 5. Wave number 3, it's the most profitable wave. What does it mean profitable? It means price discovery, ahead, above. Of course, could be inside, but still would be the most profitable in that scenario. Okay, so now let's draw what we can draw. And then we are going to speculate on things that we still don't have. So this is what we have right now. Validation. Validation, we have only 3 validations here, which is 0, which is 1, and which is 2. Okay? Some people will say, oh, but there are only 5 waves. No, there are 6 waves. Why? Because 0 also count. It's the very beginning. You can reach 1 without 0. You see? So in reality, we have 6 pivots, not only 5 in reality. Okay? So we do know right now that XRP is not at wave 5. So this is a fact. It's a technical thing. But once again, according to them, this is wave 5 and their target is right here. Folks, there is no way in this world, in this life, in the universe, in the creation, in the stars, in all of things, there is no F way to describe what's happening right now like this. So we don't have a wave 5. There is no way to call a target above wave 5. There is no way to acquire it. There is no way that such a massive structure, which is 7 years old, 6 years old. Look at this. Because the size also have impact on the target. 6 years monster, big structure, bullish, monster thing to deliver. Only this. This, folks, is the most fine opium a person can find on the internet and social media. It's the top opium pipe. Okay? Everything. So let's start from all the things that are wrong. Let's do this step by step, right? Step by step. Oh baby. So let's go. Let's replicate all their mistakes. So here we have the standard, a logarithmic chart and a logarithmic Fibonacci setup. And why it has to be this way? Because folks, if you go into Google and search for Fibonacci retracement tool or Fibonacci retracement math, you are going to learn that there is a ratio, a math, that has to be respected in each of these levels. You see, they are not the same. Just a moment. There is a symmetry here, and the symmetry comes with math, because this is based on math. Okay? So, this is the thing. The other thing is, well, one person may say, well, okay, but if I use a logarithmic chart with a Fibonacci setup that is not logarithmic, I still can read the numbers. Yeah, you can. Good luck with that. What is your symmetry? How you are going to acknowledge key levels? Just tell me. Just please tell me. So let's do this again. One more time. One more time. I told you guys that XRP honey spot was around what level? The 55 and the 89 cents range. Let's draw a line here. Coordinates 0, 55. 55, there we go. What is the other? The other is slightly above, which is 89 cents. So 84 to 89. There we are. Both of those levels were inside what? The honey spot, which is where the magic happens. Also, the lifeline volatility. I already explained this to you guys years ago. Lifeline volatility. Now, good luck trying to do this with, oops, just a second. Now try to do that with this chart. You can see the difference. You can see, and you know, this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. Now, let's take a look at what comes next with this mistake. Okay, so just a second. The standard. What are going to be, or what are the levels for the standard model? Okay, there we go. So, according to the standard model, to the model that follows math, 161% range, it's at $26. Okay, now if you use the claptrap model, what happens? It is $5. So now you guys understand what is the mistake about broken fundamentals that are going to create bad and wrong ideas. Pay attention. Their level, it's $5 and $80. Right here. 261. 261 is very aggressive. Very. Now let's go back to the standard model. So their $5 equals 26 in reality. And their $8, it is worth, how much was it? 241? 261? Let's take a look. Yes, 261. So this is the difference that we have here. You see the difference? So basically what they are calling, and they don't know because they can see it, is that XRP on wave 5 could be at, oh, actually they can see shit. They can see wave 5. Sorry. They can see anything. So, but basically what they're calling is a 241% extension. That's what they're calling. Okay. So the nonsense, it's mind-blowing. It is just nuts. Okay. So another thing that I'm going to ask you guys, if possible, search into other assets or on the Google or crypto stocks, whatever you wanna take a look. Try to find bull breaks from big structures. And you're going to understand that this, what they are saying, it's completely opium. It's the finest nonsense that grants a ticket to the asylum. Snake oil salesman. There is no other way to describe it. It is impossible. But as people keep seeing and reading it every day, they start to get in doubt. What if they're right? What if that's true? But folks, if the $8 had a, let's say, a valid fundamental or valid fundamentals, a solid basis based on solid multiple things, then okay, let's take a look. It could make sense. Let's, if it is true, we can prepare in advance. But no, folks, all of it, it's based on top of nonsense. And these guys, these people, they will never say, forgive me, I was wrong. They will never do it. That's why they keep doing this doing this kind of analysis in the wrong way day after day. Until they understand they are wrong, they will never change, they will never learn. This is what's happening right now. Okay? So once again, let me ask you a question. What's XRP average price based on the levels we had? These are the levels we had. So the question again, what's XRP average level before the bull break? What does it mean a average? You pick one and you pick the high, the low, and you look into the average, the one that it's in between, okay? It's pretty simple. It's 61 and 628 cents. Very straightforward. No rocket science. Okay? And also, we can't forget how much action XRP had around the 50%. Let's take a look. Here and here, 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 here. Basically 1, 2, and 3. And once again, 1, 2, and 3. A almost perfect setup. Almost perfect. Almost. But was there. And it contracts till the breaking point. The average. What's the average? Once again, 61, 62, 8 cents. Now, if we use the claptrap, X-band, crooked, multiple shoulder, zigzag, snake oil salesman stuff, what happens? What would be the average according to the claptrap zigzag model? It would be $1.71, which only happen 1 and 2 times before the break. So that's not the average. That's not the 50%. And you may even say, oh, but hold on. We don't have the 50% mark on the retracement too. Yeah, okay, but if you look in between, there is a average there. If you range from 0 to 10, 0 to 100, 0 to 1000, there is a straight average. Either 5, 10, 15, 50, 100, 500, it's always there, the average, even if you can't see it. So folks, it boggles my mind. Okay, so, and I really can't understand why people can't see it. It is very straightforward. It is very simple. It is not rocket science, but we have to use the tools in the right way. So just for you guys to have an idea, how do I know these things? How do I know? Back in the day when I started using TradingView back in 2016, 17, I had no idea how to use TradingView. No damn idea. Everything that I learned was with practice and time. Okay? So you can see most of people, if there is a person who says it's the market or it's an investor or a trader and doesn't know how to use TradingView, there is something wrong. Okay, because you can have one thing and don't have the other. The tools that we have in trading platforms, it's completely horrible. Okay, so if you can use TradingView, it's far better than use tools of that we can use by these apps or platforms. Okay, so that's why I always use TradingView before making my decisions into the platforms. Okay, but that's other talk. So another thing, according to the zigzag claptrap model, What is the average range here? Yeah, oh, sorry. The honey spot range here. This is completely off, completely wrong. What about everything else? Look at this gap here. What is this gap? What is this gap? This is nuts, folks. This is the finest nonsense ever in technical analysis story. I imagine other pros looking at this, they would probably laugh till they have a complete collapse. This is nuts. This is nonsense. Again, let's draw a square. Another way to take a look into this. Hey, sir, can you show me where is the average into this whole range, the square here? Oh, yes, it's right here. The average. Take a look. Oh, really? Oh, okay, so that's fantastic. Problem solved. Now, if we do draw a square, what happens? We have a square, right? Okay, without Fibonacci, oh, just a second. Where is the 50% mark? The average of this square right here. Can you guys see this? This marks the average. It's set and it can change. So you see, that's the average. Not this, the claptrap model. This is the average. Now let's draw a Fibonacci here, the claptrap Fibonacci. Let's find the average. Well, there is something completely wrong here because according to the claptrap model, the average is right here. Now, let's apply the normal. What Fibonacci back in the day he found? Right there, the 50 mark. So both things, they are not the same, and they don't return the same numbers. It's impossible. One has to be right, while the other has to be wrong. Once again, log chart, log Fibo scale, linear chart, linear Fib scale. Now imagine you have robots in your factory and a claptrap out of a sudden shows up and look into the computer and say, well, we have a logarithmic method here and we have a logarithmic script. What if I change the script to linear and not logarithmic? Guess what's happened with your factory and your goods? It is going to, you know what is going to happen with everything. That's exactly what we are seeing with these people today. And again, folks, I'm not talking about my opinion whatsoever. We are just talking about technical facts. Okay? Against facts, there are no arguments. I can make an argument against something that is done, that works, that is there. Okay? So because if it was the case, I could say, well, wait a second. What if we could try that? But I can't. I can't build a case on top of something that is done, that is working, that is in everything. Just imagine a rose, a tree, a stone, based on the claptrap logarithmic model. Everything in existence would be crooked. Imagine. Crooked stones, crooked trees, crooked snake oil salesman all over. Folks, please, come on. There is no way. There is no way. And anyone trying to defend this claptrap thing, it's out of its mind. There is no way. Okay, it's impossible. It is nuts. That is it. It is what it is, right? So there is no way. Just a quick look here on the XRP right now, going down a little bit because Dow Jones is also going down a little bit, as you guys can see right here. Okay, you can see right here. So Dow Jones going down, Bitcoin going down a little bit, XRP going down a little bit. We don't know where Dow Jones will stop. We don't. So let's keep watching, see what we can expect in the coming days. So what we were talking about XRP in the working chart. Why I moved forward? Because there is no head and shoulders. That's why I'm not looking to the left. So a basic setup here. Okay, basic setup, nothing extraordinary, no rocket science. What does it mean here? It means we are at a crossroads, a very important time right now. If XRP gets rejected from this 50 cent, not 50 cents, sorry, the 50% mark, then it can be bad news in the short term. But there is a if here. We don't know yet. It's unfolding right now. Okay? So, getting rejected multiple times from 6 to 1, 50, also 38, it's bad business. Short term, because it's the early stages of a bull break. Okay? But there is one thing that we have to pay attention here. Doing a step-by-step process. Okay? Can you see the distance here from the 6 to 1? Let's take a look. It is 2.27%. Now let's take a look here. 2.27%. Right here. So it's almost there. It's very, very, very close. So the first thing we have to look here is for the symmetry between this range. Again, in a step-by-step process. If XRP goes flat and flat once again, then this is bad. Okay? But I don't hold good news or bad news back. You guys know. Been doing this for years. You guys know it better. At this moment, it's crucial. It's important. Okay? Just 1 second. Let's take a look here also on the trial dates. 3 days, 1 day. Okay, so let's make 2 cases here, because I believe at this point we have only 2 possible scenarios. One is more consolidation before continuation, or this range, the most important pivots that we have right now are going to change. Okay, because if XRP goes down, this pivot will get broken. So this is not about support and resistance. So let's say we end up with more flat activity. More flat. Once again, we are going to have a descend triangle, which is bearish. But as you guys can see, the target here, it is not as bad as some people are talking about. It's even yeah, it's close to 1.40. Okay, but if by any chance it is from here to here. So why I'm doing this in this way? Because we had a PP here, which is the price protection theory. We do know it happened, right? And so it changed the way we see things. So there is no symmetry here. So that's why I'm not looking to the previous one. But once again, when we take a look here, we can see symmetry on these three guys right here. So once again, step by step, oh baby. Let's see how this is going to behave. And oh, please forgive me, I forgot to talk about the possibility on the after, if there is a downside move to take place here. So let's say we go down to 1 in 40, whatever, 1 in 45, I don't care. Could be something like this. Okay, chase, remember, always chasing the event. Whatever, if it is going to be inside action, or if there is a new low, and then we come back up to the event itself, that is the trial to end, to be over, it's done, right? So we could likely see, if this is the case again, to be something like this. Because the trial ending, it's game on. Why we do know it's game on? Because things will, so let's say companies and structures and systems, they can be integrated and start to go crazy on utility. But only when the trial is completely over. The SEC says it's over, the paper is here, game on, let's go, bye. That's it. Okay? So one way or the other, it doesn't change the final outcome. That is wave 0, wave 1. If 2 was here, or if 2 is going to be around here, it is still going to be wave 2. Then we are going to wave number 3, which is the most profitable one always. Okay? So guys, I believe I don't forgot to mention anything here at all. I believe we talked about all the points and aspects of this nonsense. And yeah, so in a few days, probably next week, I will record another update. And yeah, so let's see how it goes. But for now, there is nothing new. We still have to keep eyes on and see how not only XRP, but the whole markets, Dow Jones, SPX, gold, dollar, crypto, to see how all of them are going to behave. Okay, so guys, thanks for your patience, thanks for your time, thanks for your support, thanks for all the kind messages. You guys are amazing. Don't forget to smash the like button, share with your friends, subscribe, ring the bell, do all this stuff to help this channel to grow up. Okay, and yeah, I will see you guys soon. Stay safe and see ya.